Joe Docherty. I'm a goalkeeper with Cray Valley under-23s development team. This is quite new to me. I've started with Cray Valley for about a couple of months now. I started coming down here during lockdown actually. I know Mark Mortlock very well, the manager of the under-23 development team. I've known Matt as well. I've known Matt since I was probably 15, maybe he was 12.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We met down the goalkeeping school called I think it's Peter Lodge, wasn't it?
Last line of defence, yeah.
Last line of defence. So that's where we met. But I'm here now as a pair. We're doing a together sort of goalkeeping school as well for Cray Valley as a whole. If there's anyone out there that fancies coming down, please join us.
Matt Blendell, Cray Valley under-23s development team. So I started off at a team called many clubs in Kent. It's JDMB Keepers. The ambition is to get as many local goalkeepers as possible, any age, just to do any sorts of drills, and just to get the keepers involved really. Joe?
Yeah, same ambition to be fair with Matt. Obviously we've come together to share the experiences that we've got and gained over the years. So myself, 4 years older than Matt, I'm 29. I did have a break from goalkeeping, but now I've found a love for it again, and I'm coming back stronger than ever. And my passion is more just passing on the experience and hopefully can share it with the kids as well, and also with Cray.
18, 19 at the time, coming at half time, the first team had an absolute mare first up against Chelmsford. I think they're like 2-0 down or something like that, and the managers come rooting in, smash the door in, and one of the centre halves has tripped him up as he's coming through. Literally everybody was in stitches, but we knew we was going to get bollocked. So yeah.
I think Bromley, just before I hit the academy, so I think Bromley under-18s, we hit the Kent County final. Actually the semi-final before that, so obviously we went to the penalties and I saved all 4 penalties, so we went through to the finals. That was the best moment for me, and then feeling a bit confident, we had the final come up, and as it was 0-0 throughout the whole game, it went to extra time, and it still was 0-0, and I fancied myself on penalties for the final of the Kent County final, and unfortunately, last seconds, I'm not even lying, the last seconds, there was a throw-in at deep of our side of the pitch, and the guys threw it in our box. I've shouted keepers, telling you last couple of seconds of the game, and my left back for some reason just jumps in front of me and skims it off the top of his head, and it went in.
Always the
cost us the final, but as I say, semi-final was the greatest moment for me, and then it just shattered in the final. So there's a bit of both in football. Unfortunate. Actually, coming to terms of actually returning from my break, it's actually helped me mentally, knowing that you can enjoy yourself just training as a goalkeeper, having great people like Matt, like others around you. They're key for happiness as well. So as I say, I think just mentally, it's great to have as an agility, as that sort of position of the game. Everyone talks about the outfield players and stuff, but goalkeeper is the last line of the defence. So it's eyes always on you, and you know the reaction saves that we do. But then there's upsets as well. But yeah, I think being a goalkeeper is great.
It's unbelievable. Balls come cut across, so I've shuffled my feet into line, made the save, and then about 2 minutes later, made the exact same save. And I could see my friend, he was clapping, my brother was clapping. It was right in the training ground at Norwich, and I believe the first team manager was there at the time in the gym, and I was thinking, oh, did he see that? Did he see that? Am I going to get signed? And obviously not, but yeah, that was a highlight for me. So our days are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Myself and Joe normally train 4 to 5 times a week, and 3 times a week we coach together, just trying to get youth out off the Xbox, just diving about in the grass. That's predominantly the case that we want to achieve is
definitely
just getting us a good base, so we can get lots of keepers in, just diving about. And so I work with Palace Women as well in the Championship, so my schedule's pretty hectic. So fitting this in as well is good. It's tough, but I want to improve goalkeepers for the next year official.
Okay. And how can they contact you if they want to get hold of you? If they want to get hold of you personally?
Email. I'm always on it. Keeper10, keeper KEEPER 10 @btinternet.com.
No, to be honest, it is key to get the kids out. Like Matt said, it's Xbox and PlayStations and stuff nowadays, and Fortnite is taking over. But unfortunately, we weren't brought up like that. And if you do want to become a footballer from young, then the way is to come down and see us, and we'll share our experiences with you guys.
I've been training pretty much every day. Obviously keeping the 2 metre distance, just working on the techniques. Obviously we're coming up to pre-season now. It's normally a time of rest for footballers, but I feel like we can't go anywhere. Just training pretty much every day when I can. Just working on the basics, collapses, just handshakes, really getting into line with the ball, having a good feel for the ball. Technique is it's goalkeeping. Basics, everybody can make saves, but the basics. It's been quite good for me actually. YouTube's a good tool for a goalkeeper because you can watch different sessions from professional coaches and things like that from different clubs worldwide. Different ideas, you can obviously put into your own sessions, and just that's the way you learn as a coach as well, by watching the better people. Obviously at better clubs. For example, my favourite coach is Inaki Kanya at Arsenal. He's just moved from Brentford. Some great sessions. Obviously, they've got the equipment, whereas we might not have down here. But we can obviously, evolve that into our own thing.
So at the beginning of lockdown, I wasn't actually a part of Cray. I wasn't involved as such with goalkeeping. It was just a bit of luck again in life, as you need sometimes. And I think I was literally driving through a random park, and young Matt was training. As he said, he's always training. So I pulled up, and that was actually the first time I see him in 10 years.
Oh yeah, easily, yeah.
10 years. We recognised each other straight away, and we just started having a talk, and I see how fit he was and how much he was working whilst in lockdown. Just goes to show, as a goalkeeper, you can still work on your own, and keeping that sort of fitness up. And again, young Matt's obviously, again introduced me into knowing. I already know Mark, but he's got me into getting into Cray, and he's just made me sort of realise during lockdown you can do things with yourself. A lot of people were talking about mental health and stuff, building. It's each of their own. Obviously it's tough when you're struggling, obviously mental health. People touch on it a lot, but for me it's actually helped me realise that keeping fit. And I've always been a goalkeeper since little, since I was 6, 7. So yeah, I'm really happy that we've come together and actually agreed, we can work together on this and create a nice school for the kids.
Obviously cricket's coming more and more in the country now. Biggest sporting hero, wow. It's hard. Probably Ben Stokes at the minute.
Casillas for me. I don't know why. I always loved Casillas. For me, when I was young, I used to go to Spain a lot with my parents, and it was the Bernabeu all the time, and just sort of just loved watching Casillas. And he's always been sort of better than Victor Valdez in that sort of time in the El Clasico. That's a tough one. We can debate after, but yeah, Casillas is a great goalkeeper and a great person. Obviously, I can't speak the language that he speaks, but
you can't. this day and age there's so many great goalkeepers, but over the years, Peter Schmeichel, there's torn between the two for me. Buffon or Peter Schmeichel. Buffon's obviously still doing his thing now.
Surprisingly, you didn't say David Seaman being an Arsenal fan.
David Seaman, yeah, he, known for one save, but you know, he's honestly, look, as a goalkeeper, you know, you need to be at the right place at the right time. You know, you need to have a lot of aspects of your game to be of a good standard. Joe's probably got a different opinion, but
well, I think it's just changed. Obviously, modern goalkeepers nowadays, they ain't the Peter Schmeichels and they ain't the David Seamans. They're more like the Keppers of Chelsea and the De Geas of United, you know. So they're more lighter on their feet, they're more agile, they use their legs more. And then you know, back in the day, David Seaman and Schmeichel with their massive hands and Schmeichel's spreads, it's completely different now. And that's what comes in with our, you know, coaching and training with the school and the kids. They also need to, you know, learn that there is, you know, goalkeepers always learn. Everyone, you never stop learning. So
I think for me, certainly in my game, you look at goalkeepers like, for example, crosses. I always look at Petr Cech or Courtois because of the height, you know, the way they move across the box, how physically demanding they are. Like another example would be 1v1s, obviously looking at Schmeichel, but then again his actions now, you don't really see goalkeepers standing up to the ball now. It's more like a block, spread or smother kind of thing. So De Gea for me, obviously, you know, he's been brought up around about the foot save. That's coming to play now. That's a massive part of the game. You know, say actions are changing all the time for goalkeepers. It's, you know, Neuer's obviously with the distribution. He's brought in a new game to the goalkeeping world. Yeah, so for me to Stegen as well. You know, distribution is left and right foot, any distance side volleys. He can do that. But that's what the modern game brings now. You need to have that in your locker. You
do need like that sort of element of patience in the game, and it shows within the character of the goalkeeper. I mean, Matt knows I'm a bit of a character as well, but it helps confidence. It helps people's sort of, like you say, calm, and you know, if you feel like the under pressure's there, you can automatically just feel calm in certain situations if you know that there's a guy or a person that, you know, nearby is comfortable with that sort of environment. But what I can say to a goalkeeper now, it's hard because every goalkeeper is different. Everyone's individual. Some might be able to do an easy pick up, some might be able to do a great sort of collapse dive. But at the moment, it's a difficult question, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, to say, like, I spoke to Man United's goalkeeping coach when Van der Sar was there. We had a good chat actually in regards to Van der Sar, and he said he was so talkative in the dressing room, but when he got out on the pitch, he was calm, he was composed. Whereas, like, as I say, Peter Schmeichel out on the pitch, he was a bit of a menace, really. But obviously, you know, it just comes with characteristics. I think, you know, it's just who you are as a person.
If I reckon if the goalkeepers can have a look, like you said, Matt, is go on YouTube, do your research on goalkeepers nowadays, and you will learn a lot. And obviously, come down and meet us, and we'll share some experiences as well, and it'll be good.